Eva Cole rips off her veil and points at the groom like she is pulling a trigger. I do not. The words crack through the cathedral at Rockefeller Center, louder than the organ, louder than 1,000 gasps. Samuel Thorne freezes with a ring between his fingers, his smile dying in a way he cannot control. Eva lifts her chin, eyes cold, voice steady. I am not here to marry you, Samuel. I am here to send you and your father to prison. For a second, nobody breathes. Crystal chandeliers glitter above New York royalty, bankers, politicians, and investors, all dressed in black and white like a boardroom disguised as a blessing. The priest stares at Eva as if she has spoken a foreign language. Samuel whispers, Eva, what are you doing? She steps back so the cameras can see her whole face. The makeup is perfect, the dress is perfect, the smile is gone. Stop calling me Eva like I belong to you. She says. You do not even know who I am. A murmur rolls through the pews. Marcus Thorne, the father, sits in the front row with a handkerchief folded like a weapon in his lap. He does not move, but his eyes sharpen. Eva turns toward the wall of screens that the wedding planner insisted on, so every guest can witness the miracle up close. She gives a small nod. A technician hesitates, then presses play. Audio fills the room. A male voice, smooth and sure, says, we take cold group, we pin it on Arthur's son, we buy the judges, and we wash it clean through the shell accounts. A second voice laughs, older, dangerous. You worry too much. If Henry Cole talks, we make him vanish. The room tilts. People look at Marcus. People look at Samuel. People look at Eva like she has become the knife in the cake. Marcus rises, slow, controlled. Turn that off. He says, calm enough to be terrifying. This is a private family event. Eva meets his gaze. It is a crime scene. She replies. Samuel steps forward, palm open. This is not real. My father would never say that. Eva turns the screen again. A file flashes, then another. Contract documents, signatures, transfers, dates. It is not just a voice now, it is a map. Samuel reads the first page and his throat tightens. Eva, where did you get this? She laughs once, a sound with no warmth. From the place you never look. She says. From the corners where your family hides the bodies. Marcus snaps his fingers. 2 security men in dark suits start down the aisle. Eva does not flinch. She lifts her hand. At the back doors, uniformed officers step inside, forming a line. Gasps turn into shouts. Phones rise like a field of metal flowers. Marcus's face changes. The smile is still there, but it is now a mask over rage. Officer. He says, addressing the nearest badge like he owns it. You are making a mistake. The officer does not answer him. He looks at Eva. Miss Cole? He asks. Eva nods. Everything is ready. She says. Take him. Samuel recoils at the name. Ms. Cole. He repeats. Cole. Eva looks at him, and for the first time her eyes flicker. I was not born Eva Thorne's bride. She says. I was born Eva Cole. Your father stole my family. He stole my father. He killed my mother. Samuel shakes his head, disbelief fighting panic. You told me your mother died of illness. She died because she could not survive what Marcus did. Eva says. Grief can be a weapon too. The priest drops the book. A woman in the front row sobs, loud and messy. Someone whispers the word. Undercover. Like it is a curse. Marcus's voice hardens. Samuel, come here. He orders. Samuel does not move. His eyes stay on Eva, wide, wounded. You used me. He says quietly. Eva swallows. I built a plan. She answers. I built it around you because you were the easiest door into his house. The officers close in. Marcus lifts his hands as if he is innocent. She is lying. He says. She is unstable. She is trying to destroy us for attention. Eva takes a slow breath. Then explain the wire transfers. She says. Explain the recorded call. Explain why my father has spent 3 years in a cage because you bought the truth. Samuel's hands tremble. He looks at the screen again. He looks at Marcus. A thread snaps inside him. Father. He says, voice raw. Tell me you did not do this. Marcus's eyes flash. Samuel, you will not embarrass me in public. Samuel flinches, like he has been slapped. That is the answer. Eva steps closer to Samuel, close enough that he can smell the perfume he gave her. Her voice drops so only he can hear. I did not want to hurt you. She says. I wanted justice. Samuel stares at her, pain turning into something darker. Justice. He echoes. Or revenge. Both. Eva admits. Marcus tries to step back. The officers catch his arms. He struggles for the first time, and it is ugly. You think this ends with me? He hisses at Eva. You think you win because you ruined a wedding? Eva leans in. It ends with you in handcuffs. She says. It ends with my father free. It ends with your empire bleeding out in daylight. The officer reads Marcus his rights. Samuel hears the words like distant thunder. He watches his father being led down the aisle, past the flowers, past the cake, past the guests who now treat him like a contagion. Samuel does not follow. He cannot move. Eva turns away from the altar. Her heels click on marble. Every sound feels like a verdict. She reaches the end of the aisle and stops. She looks back at Samuel one last time. There is love there, buried under ash. There is guilt there, sharp as glass. I am sorry. She says. Samuel's eyes glisten. He forces the words out. Was any of it real? Eva's throat tightens. She answers anyway. Yes. She says. That is why it hurts. She walks out into flashing lights and shouting reporters, into the winter air that bites like truth. Behind her, the wedding becomes evidence. Ahead of her, the war finally begins. 3 years earlier, Eva Cole dies on paper. In a small office above a dry cleaner in Queens, an old friend of her grandfather slides a folder across a scratched desk. You understand what this means. The man says. If you do this, you do not get to be her anymore. Eva opens the folder. A new name stares back at her. Ella Carter. A clean birth certificate. A clean school record. A clean employment history. A clean life. Eva closes the folder. My real life was burned down. She says. Clean is all I have left. The man sighs. Marcus Thorne does not forgive. He does not forget. Eva's voice is flat. Good. She replies. Neither do I. Her grandfather, Arthur Cole, sits in the corner with a cane across his knees. He looks smaller than he used to, but his eyes are still sharp. Your father would not want this. He says softly. Eva's jaw clenches. My father is in prison for a crime he did not commit. She answers. My mother is in the ground because her heart broke. What would he want, Grandpa, for me to smile and move on? Arthur flinches at the word grandpa, as if it stabs him. I want you alive. He says. I want him free. She says back. That night, she stands in front of a mirror and practices her new smile. Gentle. Unthreatening. The kind of smile men trust. The kind of smile that hides teeth. On Monday, she walks into Thorne Group headquarters as an intern. The lobby is all glass and steel, a cathedral for money. A receptionist hands her a badge. Ella Carter. She clips it to her blouse and feels like she has pinned a target to her chest. Her supervisor, a tired manager named Bridget, points at a desk near the copy machine. Do not make noise. Do not cause trouble. Do not talk to Mr. Thorne unless he talks to you. Bridget says. Eva nods, pretending to be grateful. Inside, her heart counts exits. She spends the first week learning the building, the names, and the habits. Lena used to be Thorne Group's finance director. Then she vanished, demoted, reassigned to a quiet office without windows. Eva finds her by pretending to get lost. The hallway is empty. The fluorescent lights buzz. Lena looks up from a spreadsheet, startled. Her eyes are tired, but her posture is alert. You are not supposed to be here. She says. Eva steps inside and closes the door. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. Eva replies. Lena's gaze sharpens. Who are you? Eva slides a folded paper across the desk. On it is one line, written in careful letters. Henry Cole is innocent. Lena's face goes pale. She grabs the paper and crushes it in her fist. Get out. She whispers. If Marcus finds you, you are dead. Eva leans forward. Then help me. She says. Help me finish what you started. Lena laughs, bitter. You think I started anything? I survived, that is all. Eva's voice softens, just enough to sound human. I am not asking you to die. She says. I am asking you to stop living on your knees. Lena's hands tremble. She looks at the door, then at Eva. What do you want? Access. Eva says. Files, accounts, the truth. Lena swallows. You do not understand. She says. Marcus has eyes everywhere. Eva holds her gaze. I have waited 3 years. She answers. I can wait longer, but I will not stop. Days become weeks. Eva works late, volunteers for every project, laughs at jokes that make her skin crawl. She becomes useful. And when you are useful, people let you closer. One evening, the elevator doors open on the executive floor. Eva steps out with a stack of reports. She has never been allowed up here. Her badge should not work. It does anyway. Her pulse spikes. She walks fast, pretending she belongs. Glass walls reveal offices like aquariums. At the end of the corridor, a door stands open. Marcus's office. Eva pauses. She can hear a voice inside, low, calm. Samuel's voice. Eva should turn back. Instead, she steps to the edge of the doorway. Samuel Thorne stands by the window, looking down at the city. He is tall, sharp in a suit, too young to carry the weight on his shoulders. Marcus sits behind a desk like a king behind a throne. Samuel speaks, tense. We cannot keep cutting corners like this. It will come back on us. Marcus smiles. It came back on Cole Group. Marcus replies. And look at us now. Samuel's jaw tightens. That was different. Marcus leans back. No. He says. It was business. Eva's nails dig into her palm. She forces herself to breathe. Samuel turns. His eyes catch Eva in the doorway. Surprise flashes across his face. Who is that? Eva steps in, acting flustered. I am sorry. She says quickly. I was told to deliver these to accounting. I must have taken the wrong elevator. Marcus's gaze lands on her, cold, assessing. Samuel frowns. She is an intern. He says. Marcus's smile does not reach his eyes. Interns should learn how to follow rules. He says. Leave. Eva nods and backs out. Her heart pounds so hard it hurts. She has been seen. By both of them. That night, an email arrives in her inbox. From Samuel Thorne. Subject elevator. The message is one line. Are you okay? Eva stares at the screen. She should ignore it. She should delete it. She should not invite the soft air into her war. Her fingers hover over the keyboard. Then she types back. Yes. Thank you. She hits send. And in that simple lie, the plan shifts. Because now Samuel Thorne has noticed her. And she has noticed something worse. He is not like his father. Samuel does not chase her at first. He watches. He starts appearing where she is, as if by accident. In the cafeteria line. In the elevator. At the late-night office kitchen when she is alone, microwaving soup she does not want to eat. Long hours. He says one night, leaning against the counter. Eva keeps her face neutral. It is a big company. She replies. I am trying to keep up. Samuel studies her like he is solving a puzzle. You looked scared in my father's office. He says. Eva forces a small laugh. I was embarrassed. She lies. I did not want to get fired. Samuel's eyes soften. He can be intense. He says. He does not mean to be cruel. Eva almost smiles at the absurdity. Almost. Instead she shrugs. I am fine. She says. Samuel nods slowly, not convinced. If you ever need help. He says. You can ask me. Eva looks away. Help is not what she needs. Help is what gets people killed. Weeks later, Samuel asks her to join a project. It is a high-profile acquisition, a deal Marcus wants closed fast. Eva knows why. The faster the money moves, the harder it is to track. She accepts anyway. She sits in meetings with executives, taking notes, learning the language of theft disguised as strategy. She watches Marcus charm investors and crush employees in the same breath. She watches Samuel argue quietly for ethics, only to be overruled with a smile. After one meeting, Samuel catches up to her in the hallway. "You are sharper than most of the analysts," he says. Eva keeps walking. "I read fast," she replies. Samuel laughs. "You do more than read," he says. "You see." Eva stops at the elevator. She forces her expression into something softer. "Seeing is not always safe," she says. The elevator doors close, sealing them in. Samuel's voice lowers. "Do you trust anyone here?" he asks. Eva's throat tightens. She thinks of Arthur. She thinks of her father behind bars. She thinks of her mother swallowing sadness until she could not breathe. She answers the only way she can. "I trust results," she says. Samuel watches her, and for a moment his face looks lonely. "I know what it is like," he says. "To want to prove yourself in a family that treats you like a tool." Eva almost asks him what Marcus has done to him. Almost. Then the doors open. The moment dies. That weekend, a storm hits New York. Rain slams the windows of Eva's tiny apartment. She sits on the floor with her laptop, running a decryption program Lena gave her. The file is stubborn. It is marked with codes that match the cold collapse. Her phone buzzes. Samuel's name lights the screen. Eva hesitates, then answers. "Hello. Are you home?" Samuel asks. His voice sounds strained. "Yes." Eva says cautiously. "Do not go outside," he says. "There is a blackout near your block. Power lines down. It is dangerous." Eva's stomach twists. How does he know where she lives? She forces calm. "Thank you," she says. "I will be careful." There is a pause. Then Samuel adds. "I am nearby. I can bring you a generator if you need it." Eva laughs, short. "I do not need a generator," she says. "You are stubborn." Samuel replies, and there is warmth in it. Eva hates that warmth. It slips under her armor. A loud crack echoes outside. The lights flicker. Then the apartment goes dark. Eva's breath catches. Her laptop dies. Her file, half opened, disappears. She slams her fist into the floor. Her phone remains, screen glowing in the dark. Samuel hears her silence. "Eva," he says. "Talk to me." Eva swallows rage. "I lost my work," she says. "I am coming." Samuel replies. She should tell him no. She should shut off the phone. Instead, she hears herself say, "Fine." 20 minutes later, someone knocks. Eva opens the door a sliver, chain still on. Samuel stands there drenched, hair soaked, holding a small battery pack and a bag of food. He looks like a man who ran through a storm to reach her. Eva hates the way her chest tightens. "I told you not to go out," she says. Samuel smiles, almost shy. "I did not listen," he says. "I wanted to make sure you were safe." She lets him in. He sets the battery pack on the table and plugs in a lamp. Warm light blooms. The room suddenly feels intimate, too small for lies. They sit on the couch, listening to rain. Samuel leaves. Eva locks the door, leans against it, and slides to the floor. Her hands shake. On her laptop, the decryption program restarts. The file opens. A list of shell companies appears, all linked to Marcus Thorne. And at the bottom, one name makes Eva's vision blur. Samuel Thorne. Not just heir. Not just witness. A signature on a transfer. Eva presses a hand to her mouth. She cannot breathe. The soft air is not as clean as she wanted him to be. And now she has to decide what to do with a truth that can destroy him. Eva does not confront Samuel. Not yet. She copies the file onto an encrypted drive and gives it to Lena. They meet in a parking garage beneath a grocery store, because Lena refuses to meet anywhere Marcus can see. Lena reads the signature and goes pale. He signed because Marcus told him to. Lena says. Samuel was younger then. He did not understand. Eva's voice is sharp. Signatures move money. She says. Ignorance does not undo damage. Lena looks at her, pained. Do not pretend you are not human. Lena says. You are shaking. Eva does not answer. She hates the shaking. Back at work, Marcus begins to circle her. It starts small. A casual question about her education. A remark about her accent. A request for her to deliver reports directly to his office. When she walks into that office, she feels the air change. The room smells like expensive wood and quiet threats. Marcus looks up, smiling. Ella. He says, drawing out the name like he is tasting it. Sit. Eva sits. Marcus slides a folder toward her. I have been reviewing intern profiles. He says. You are impressive. Eva keeps her face calm. Thank you, sir. She says. Marcus taps the folder. Your resume is interesting. He says. No social media, no long-term references. You appear out of nowhere. Eva forces a laugh. I like privacy. She says. Marcus nods. So do I. He replies. That is why I am careful about who enters my house. Eva's pulse spikes. She keeps her posture relaxed. Did I do something wrong? She asks. Marcus's smile widens. Not yet. He says. He stands and walks to the window, looking down at the city. Do you know what people misunderstand about power? He asks. Eva stays silent. Marcus continues, voice smooth. They think it is loud. They think it screams. Real power whispers, Ella. It offers you a choice, then takes away the option to refuse. He turns back. Samuel likes you. He says casually. Eva's stomach tightens. He is kind to everyone. She says. Marcus laughs softly. No. He says. He is kind to people he believes are safe. He believes you are safe. Eva keeps her expression neutral. Marcus steps closer. I would hate for him to be wrong. He says. Eva meets his gaze. Why are you telling me this? She asks. Marcus's eyes harden. Because I protect what is mine. He says. And my son is mine. Eva feels rage rise, hot. She swallows it down. I do not want to hurt him. She says carefully. Marcus watches her like a predator. Good. He says. Then we understand each other. After she leaves, her hands tremble in the elevator. She feels watched. She feels hunted. That night, someone knocks at her apartment again. Eva freezes, heart pounding. She looks through the peephole. It is not Samuel. It is a man in a dark jacket, face half hidden. He holds up a phone and speaks into it. Eva cannot hear the words, but she sees the shape of his mouth. She is here. Eva steps back, silent. Her mind races. She grabs her go bag from the closet, the one Arthur insisted she keep. Cash ID, a burner phone, the encrypted drive copy, and a small can of pepper spray. She does not open the door. She slips out the fire escape into the rain. Her sneakers hit metal stairs, slick and loud. She moves fast, breath burning. She reaches the alley and runs. A car door slams behind her. Footsteps chase. Ella. A voice calls, mocking. Wait. Eva cuts through a courtyard and into the street. Traffic is thin. She darts between parked cars, hears someone curse. Her lungs scream. A hand grabs her arm. Eva whips around and sprays. The man howls, stumbling back. She runs again, shaking, furious, terrified. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. She answers without thinking. What? Marcus's voice fills her ear, calm as ever. You should not run, Ella. He says. Running makes people curious. Eva stops in the shadow of a closed deli. Was that you? She whispers. Marcus chuckles. I am merely making sure you understand consequences. He says. You are close to my son. That makes you dangerous. Eva's voice turns icy. You are afraid. She says. There is a pause. Then Marcus replies, softer. I am practical. He says. Do not force me to be cruel. The line goes dead. Eva stands there, rain on her face like tears she refuses to own. Her hands shake so hard she almost drops the phone. She looks up at the city lights. She thinks of her father behind bars. She thinks of her mother dying alone. She thinks of Arthur waiting, worried, helpless. She walks, fast, toward a subway entrance. She will not stop now. If Marcus has started to bite, it means she is close. The next morning, Samuel corners her at work. His face is pale, eyes tense. Where were you last night? He demands. Eva blinks, playing confused. At home. She lies. Samuel shakes his head. I went by. He says. You did not answer. Your neighbor said you left in the rain. Eva's chest tightens. You went by. She repeats. Why? Samuel's voice drops. Because I was worried. He says. Because I feel like something is happening to you and you will not tell me. Eva studies him. He looks sincere. He looks scared. She wants to trust him. Then she remembers his signature. She remembers Marcus's warning. She forces a smile, gentle, false. Nothing is happening. She says. I am just tired. Samuel grips her wrist, careful but firm. Do not lie to me. He says. Eva meets his eyes. The moment is too close, too honest. She pulls her hand free. Let go. She says quietly. Samuel releases her, stunned by the coldness in her tone. Eva walks away. Her heart aches with something that is not guilt alone. She knows Marcus will keep escalating. She knows Samuel is getting pulled into the blast radius. She knows the wedding will not be a celebration. It will be a battlefield. And the only way out is forward. The invitation says tomorrow. The venue is already dressed in white. Florists move like soldiers, building walls of roses. Reporters camp outside, hungry for photos. Investors whisper about the merger Marcus will announce after the vows. Eva wears her engagement ring like a shackle. In the penthouse of the Thorne family, Marcus hosts a dinner for close friends. Samuel sits beside Eva, hand on her knee under the table, steadying her. She hates that it comforts her. Marcus raises a glass. To family. He says. To legacy. To a future no one can take from us. Eva smiles because she must. Samuel drinks because he thinks it is normal. Arthur would call it poison. After dinner, Samuel leads Eva to a balcony. The skyline spreads out, glittering. His face is soft in the city light. One more day. He says, smiling. Then you are my wife. Eva's throat tightens. She looks at him and sees a man who has never wanted to hurt anyone. She also sees a man who has benefited from her pain. Samuel reaches up and brushes a strand of hair from her face. You are quiet. He says. Are you nervous? Eva forces a laugh. Who would not be? She says. Samuel leans closer. I will take care of you. He promises. The words hit her like a blow. Her eyes burn. She turns her face away, pretending to admire the view. Samuel. She says, voice low. If I have lied to you, would you hate me? Samuel pauses. His hand stills. Then he says. I would ask why. Eva swallows. And if the reason is ugly? She asks. Samuel's voice is gentle. Then we face it together. He says. Eva closes her eyes. For a second, she wants to drop everything. She wants to tell him the truth, to beg him to help her, to beg him to be clean. Then she remembers her father. She remembers her mother. She remembers Marcus on the phone, calm as murder. Eva opens her eyes. I am just tired. She says again. Samuel frowns, not satisfied, but he does not push. Later that night, Eva meets Lena in a church basement. The church is old, quiet, and the priest does not ask questions when Arthur calls. Lena spreads documents across a folding table. You have enough. Lena says. Audio, transfers, bribery, obstruction. It will bury Marcus. Eva nods. Not just Marcus. She says. Everyone who helped him. Lena hesitates. Samuel? She asks. Eva's jaw tightens. He signed. Eva says. He cannot deny that. Lena leans in. He was coerced. She insists. He is not like Marcus. Eva laughs, bitter. Being less evil does not make you innocent. She says. Then her voice cracks. It just makes you harder to punish. Arthur enters, cane tapping the floor. His face is drawn, eyes tired. Tomorrow. He says. Are you ready? Eva looks at him. She sees fear in him, a fear he refuses to admit. He lost his son once. He will not lose his granddaughter too. I am ready. Eva says. Arthur reaches for her hand. Justice, Eva. He whispers. Not revenge that devours you. Eva squeezes his hand. I cannot promise the difference. She admits. They finalize the timing. The police will be outside, disguised as event staff. The recordings will play the moment she says no. The officers will move when she gives the signal. Lena will be in the control booth, ready to unlock the files. Arthur will be in the back, watching, praying, holding himself together. Eva steps out into the night. Snow falls, light, like ash. She looks up at the dark sky. She thinks of tomorrow, of the moment the organ will swell, of the moment the room will go silent. She thinks of Samuel's eyes when the truth lands. Her phone buzzes. Samuel again. She answers. Eva. He says. I cannot sleep. Her chest tightens. Me neither. She admits. Samuel's voice is quiet, vulnerable. Tell me you are happy. He says. Eva closes her eyes. She cannot lie with ease anymore. I want to be. She says. Samuel exhales. After tomorrow we can start over. He says. No more secrets. Eva's throat burns. She almost laughs at the irony. Yes. She whispers. No more secrets. They hang up. Eva stands in the cold, shaking. She does not know if she is shaking from fear or from grief. Tomorrow she will destroy a man. Tomorrow she will free her father. Tomorrow she will break Samuel. And she will do it in a dress that was never meant for love. The wedding ends before it begins. By afternoon, Marcus Thorne is in a holding cell. News screens loop his arrest like a victory parade. Thorne Group stock plunges. Partners flee. Executives resign, pretending they never knew him. Eva sits in a small interview room at the precinct, hands folded, posture perfect. A detective asks questions. Eva answers with facts, with dates, with files, with the calm of someone who has rehearsed grief for years. Across the hall, Samuel sits alone. He refused his father a lawyer. He refused his father a phone call. He refused his father the loyalty Marcus demanded like oxygen. When Eva is released, she finds Samuel outside. The sky is gray, the city loud. Samuel looks like a man who aged a decade in one day. He speaks first. My whole life. He says, voice hollow. I thought my father was hard because the world was hard. Eva does not reply. Samuel continues, eyes fixed on the street. He told me Cole Group was corrupt. He says. He told me your father stole from investors. He told me he saved the market. Eva's voice is quiet. He saved himself. She says. Samuel nods, jaw tight. I see that now. He says. He turns to her. His eyes are red, but his stare is steady. You planned this for 3 years. He says. You slept beside me, you laughed with me, you let me fall in love. Eva flinches. I did not let you. She says. You chose to. Samuel's lips twist, pain sharp. And you chose to use it. He says. Eva takes a slow breath. I chose to survive. She answers. I chose to fight back when nobody else would. Samuel's voice cracks. Did you ever love me? He asks. Eva's throat tightens. She does not look away this time. Yes. She says. And that is the worst part. Samuel closes his eyes. A muscle jumps in his jaw. When he speaks again, his voice is lower. My signature. He says. You saw it. Eva nods. I saw it. She replies. Samuel swallows. I signed because my father put the papers in front of me and told me it was routine. He says. I was 26. I wanted to prove I could help. I did not ask enough questions. Eva's eyes burn. Not asking questions destroyed my family, she says. Samuel flinches as if struck. I know. He whispers. I know. And I cannot undo it. Silence stretches. Cars hiss past on wet pavement. A siren wails far away. Eva finally speaks. I did not want to destroy you, she says. I wanted you out of his shadow. Samuel laughs once, bitter. You pulled me out by ripping my world apart, he says. Eva nods. That is what your father did to mine, she replies. Samuel looks at her and something changes. Not forgiveness. Not hate. Something heavier, like acceptance. What happens now? He asks. Eva exhales. Now I finish it, she says. Your father will try to bargain. He will try to buy his way out. He will try to kill what he cannot own. Samuel's hands curl into fists. I will testify, he says. Eva blinks, surprised. You do not owe me that, she says. Samuel's voice hardens. I owe the truth, he replies. And I owe my own soul. Weeks pass. The trial becomes a spectacle. Lena takes the stand, hand shaking, voice clear. Arthur sits in the front row, cane in hand, eyes wet. Eva's father, Henry Cole, is brought in to testify, thinner, older, but alive. When the judge dismisses the false charges, Henry steps into the hallway and collapses into Eva's arms. She holds him like she is holding time itself. I am sorry, he whispers. I could not protect you. Eva shakes her head. You are here, she says. That is enough. Marcus watches from the defense table, face blank. When he sees Samuel on the witness stand, something ugly flashes in his eyes. The father realizes the son has chosen justice. The verdict comes in late spring. Guilty. 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 Outside the courthouse, cameras swarm. Eva does not speak to them. She walks past, head high, holding her father on one side and Arthur on the other. Samuel does not come out with them. He leaves through a side exit, alone. That night, Eva returns to her old family townhouse, the one Arthur managed to keep from foreclosure. The rooms smell like dust and memory. She stands in the doorway of her mother's bedroom, breathing in the ghost of perfume. Her chest aches. Her phone buzzes. A message from an unknown number. One line. I am leaving New York. I hope you find peace. Eva stares at it. She knows it is Samuel. She knows he will not sign his name, because names are dangerous now. She types back. I hope you do too. Months later, she attends a charity gala at a museum. Art, champagne, quiet money pretending to be noble. Eva wears a simple black dress. She is no longer a bride. She is no longer a ghost. Across the room, she sees Samuel. He looks different, calmer, leaner, like a man who finally stepped out of a storm. Their eyes meet. Samuel walks over, slow. He stops a few feet away, respectful. Eva, he says. Samuel. She replies. A beat of silence. Then Eva speaks, voice soft. I am sorry, she says. Samuel nods. So am I. He answers. Eva swallows. I did not know how to live without revenge, she admits. Samuel looks at her, steady. Now you get to learn, he says. Eva lets out a breath she did not know she was holding. Can we ever start over? She asks. Samuel does not answer with romance. He answers with truth. I do not know, he says. But I am glad you are alive. Eva nods. So am I, she whispers. They stand under the museum lights, two survivors of a war neither asked for. Outside, New York keeps moving. Inside, the quiet feels like a beginning.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.